What's up, guys and gals? Welcome to the Nerd Castle for the character creation section of our Legend of Grimrock LP. This is a game that I've had sitting around in the back of my inventory on Steam for years, and I've gotten like halfway through it, and I never finished it because I always wanted my first impressions of this game to be recorded, like on an LP, and that's one of the big problems that I've run into over the years, like LPing, is that I start hoarding games because I'm like, ooh, I want to do a series on this, ooh, I want to do a series on this, and I just can't make up my mind. And so today I'm finally sitting down, we are finally doing it. We're gonna make this thing happen. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and hit new game. I'm gonna keep this as a separate episode from the first episode of the series so that you get more gameplay out. In this episode, we will only be creating characters. That's all that we're gonna be doing because it is kind of a long and arduous process. It's one that is gonna take me a little bit, and I'm gonna have to rationale my way through it. So let's go ahead. We're gonna go, not old school mode, that would suck. Let's do create characters. There we go. I don't like mapping on my own with grid paper. That's all that old school mode does. Old school mode makes it so that you don't have a map, so that you have to do it with grid paper like we used to do back in the old days of like Eye of the Beholder, God. Eye of the Beholder, there we go. Not Eye and the Beholder, because that's two completely separate different things. Makes you think there's like a floating eyeball and a beholder, which is a little bit worse. Eye of the Beholder and Warriors of the Red Sun and just all of those old games. Back in the day, used to have first-person dungeon crawling, Might and Magic, exact same thing. That's all that old school mode does, is it takes it back to those old days where you had to map everything by hand. Alright, and so today I'm thinking we're going to go with a warrior, rogue, mage build. I was a little bit iffy about bringing a mage because I do think that mages in this game are kind of lackluster by comparison to everybody else. I think if they had had a healing tree, they would have been a lot more attractive. But as it stands right now, bringing a mage is kind of a downer in terms of efficiency. The only nice thing about mages is they can hit everybody in an enemy party if they need to, so they have AoE abilities, which are kind of nice, and I'm not sure if that's something that everybody else gets along the way. But let's make our first character. So this is going to be our first guy. There's a number of stats that we can allocate right here. I know this stat sheet is a little bit overwhelming when you first see it. I mean, it's nothing that you haven't seen before, but still, there's a lot of like words and numbers and things flying around everywhere. I won't like explain everything, so strength is basically, I'll explain things in passing, but warriors need strength, obviously. That is a thing that warriors need. Warriors also very much probably need vitality in order to keep themselves very, very healthy. I mean, a warrior without health and HP is no frontline fighter at all, and since they're going to be bearing the brunt of all of the assaults throughout the entire course of this gameplay, I think what we're going to run into, let's go with that portrait right there. That's going to be our portrait for our dude, because why not? It seems like the thing that I would pick in this case. I don't know what I'm going to name him. I'm not really sure what I want to allocate for my various abilities. So you want to allocate your stats. Strength is for your like melee, and it helps your ranged attack do more damage. It's essentially all of your damage comes from strength, no matter what. Dexterity is just your chance to hit and your chance to dodge. Vitality is your HP, willpower, and resists, I think, to poison and cold maybe. And then willpower is for magic users. That's basically the way the whole game goes. Since he's going to be a fighter, we need to give him a weapon proficiency. And so I think I'm going to make him decent with swords. We'll put all of his points into swords for now. If you look at the bottom of the box down there that says swords in massive words, what you're going to see is that as we put points into these, as you hit certain thresholds, you're going to get new abilities. That's what we're going to be working towards the entire game, is just making sure that we hit those thresholds so that we can use better and better gear and better weapons. And we're going to be working towards slash right now with swords. With maces, you get like it does double damage. This one like makes them bleed. And then with axes, I don't know what you get because it's not on screen right now and I can't read it. We also get two traits, and these basically either up one of your stats, they up one of your HP or energy, they up your resists, or they give you more skill points. That's basically a synopsis of everything here. I'd say we should probably go with aggressive, which will give him more attack power, which is an important stat for fighters because it makes them hit harder. And then we'll probably go with, oh, I don't know. We'll probably go, since he's front line, and we'll go with skilled. Skill points are nice. So we'll take extra skill points, and from those, I'll probably start putting points into armors so that he can get himself nice and clad in that shining good steel stuff by the time we get to the middle of the game. And then his character name. I haven't really thought of his character name, so we're just going to reuse one that I used in one of the streams. It's going to be Hedgerow Hank. And so there it is. Our next character is going to be a Minotaur fighter. A female Minotaur fighter. Yeah, that works. And her name's gonna be... what should her name be? It'll be Truffle Tongue. There we go. And she'll be a fighter as well. I think the thing that I want to go with with her, we could go with a frontline rogue, which is something that I've never tried out before. Just make her super, super dodgy and combative, although that does lower her energy quite a bit. It's going to take her a while to get to the point where she can actually be useful, but that would be an interesting concept. Maybe run like 2 rogues and a fighter. I mean, ideally, if I was trying to min-max, I would switch them and do the opposite, but I'm not trying to min-max. I'm just trying to do goofy stuff, and so maybe we'll go Truffle Tongue the rogue. That seems awesome. We'll run double rogue this time. Why not? And we'll give her dagger skill. All of the daggers. We'll give her evasive, because I want her to be really, really dodgy and just staying out of the way of things, because she's in the front line, so that seems okay. And then the second one that I would take, tough might not be a bad idea, just in case she does get tagged every now and again. Skilled is always a great choice, because 3 skill points, really, that is an amazing, amazing choice. I think that let's even, well, what can I do with 3 skill points? I can take her up to Dex +1, or I can start working on Assassination. I believe this might be a bad plan, because either way, if we go the Assassination tree, we're going to get reach attack. Although if we run a dodge dagger build, it might be okay. Let's try that. We'll run a dodge dagger build for now. Let's go all in. What is... Dodge does not give me... Oh, wow, you actually... Okay, so there's a big boost to evasion right there. I don't know if that's the chance to evade, or if that's just a number. I'm not really sure if it's based on a D20 system, or if that's actually the percentage chance to dodge. 14% chance to dodge is no slouch. That's a pretty decent chance. I prefer to get it up above like 20-30, though. That seems okay. I don't think it's a bad plan. I wish that we had a little bit more variance, like maybe you could have like a sword rogue or something, but that's probably not going to work for us. Next character, we'll go with a mage, and we're going to go with a... Honestly, I might run like an all-human party, because I'm not a big fan of anything in this game aside from humans and minotaurs. I don't like lizardmen or insectoids. It's something about scales and carapaces just doesn't do it for me. Carapace? I don't know if carapaces... I don't know. Putting things through their carapaces? It's like a walk that really, really cares. It's a walk that's super empathetic. A carapace. Never mind. I think I'm running too far with this. Let's go and... We'll go with her. I think I am just going to go humans and minotaurs, because I don't like insectoids and I don't like lizardmen either. She will be our... She'll be our second rogue, and we'll make her a... Well, for rogues, it's a little bit weird. You probably don't want to pump dex too much as a rogue, because with ranged attacks, you seem to hit no matter what anyways. And so I'll keep an eye. I'm pretty sure ranged attacks always hit, and so since damage is determined by strength, it's usually the best idea to max out strength from what I've understood. Maybe go with a little bit of extra HP, and then if we need to buff up dexterity later on, that's something that we'll focus on when the mood strikes us. But up until it does strike us, we're going to pretend like we haven't been wounded yet by moods or anything else. Let's go with... Got missile weapons. Yeah, let's go with bows on her. That sounds pretty awesome. She's a lady. Ladies love bows on presents and everything else, right? Maybe I'm just being stereotypical. Whatever. Bows. We're going with bows, and I don't care what anybody says. We'll make her aggressive, because I like attack power. And we'll probably go with skilled over here as well. Yeah, skilled is always a good call. Aggressive and skilled. All around great choices for just about anybody in the game. I take skilled on everybody. I'm kind of a sucker for extra skill points. I'll probably put her skills into assassination. Or maybe I should just go all out into missile. I don't know if I should go with all missile weapons and like go missile weapons and throwing weapons so that she always has something to do, whether she has arrows or anything, or whether I should go with a little bit of extra dodge or something in case you get the enemies that strike the back row. Let's start with some dodge, I guess. We'll make her a little bit better. We'll go missile weapons and dodge. And our final character will be our mage. I've never made a male mage in this game, so we'll go right there. A male mage. That just sounds like a guy who summons just obnoxious letters, like hate mail. Like, I've summoned letters that will hurt your feelings. I am the male mage. We'll go all willpower on him and all dexterity. I'm sorry, all willpower and all vitality, because if he's getting hit, we've probably got major issues anyway since he's in the back. I think it's probably a good idea. I wish I could see further down these trees, but we'll probably go like earth magic and fire magic. Sure, why not? We'll be like a volcano mage or something. Improves the mage's defensive abilities. I don't think he really needs defensive abilities, does he? What about spellcraft? Does spellcraft do anything cool? I don't know. Let's put everything into fire for now, and we'll figure it out later once I can see the full skill trees. For his abilities, we're going to go with aura. And we're going to go with strong mind, maybe? I mean, I do think skilled is probably the better choice right here, because then it could be like, boom. We would already be super far down the fire tree before we even started the game. Or we could start off with a little bit of spellcraft or something on this end. I don't know. The ability to branch out. Basically, if you don't have the spell proficiencies, you can't use spells, and so you'll find them and you won't be able to use them. And you really need to specialize in this game. That's one thing that most people won't realize the first time they play through is, like, if you put a lot of points into a lot of different stuff, you're going to be just hosed later on. It's not going to work out for you. You really do want to min-max in this game as much as you can. I don't know. I'm going to take that portrait, actually. I like that portrait better. That one makes me happier for some reason. I think it's because he's rotund and he has a jolly beard. I believe, plus, if there's any enemies coming up behind us, we can see it off the reflection from his head. And so we can actually use him as a mobile mirror for the remainder of our journey. I'm gonna go... I'm gonna try not to be indecisive here, and I'll probably go... Ice magic seems kind of cool. I do like ice magic. What does wind magic do? I've never done wind magic. I've done ice and I've done a little bit of earth, but I've never done air. I've never seen anybody else take air either, which leads me to believe it's probably terrible. I wish I could sit on my skill points until later. Just like leave them unallocated until I could see the full tree. Oh well. We'll go with spellcraft for now. We'll play it safe. We'll figure it out along the way. And so that, oh, we haven't named him. We're just gonna name him... Instead of, like, he would be Gandalf, but instead of Gandalf, maybe... I don't know. I don't know. We could go with Randolph, like the discount version of Gandalf. We got him, like, at the Goodwill for mages. Okay, and so that's a decent spot for us to stop this episode, or this character creation. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the character creation segment of our Legends of Grimrock playthrough. I look forward to seeing you in the first episode. Take care out there, everybody, and as always, hi-do.